There are no accidents in the universe. If this message has found you, it's not by chance, it's divine timing. The voice you're hearing now, the stirring within your soul, is not a whisper of coincidence. It is a sacred summons. You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. You were led here because something ancient inside you is ready to awaken again. You may feel it already. That quiet but persistent shift beneath the surface of your life. The growing restlessness. The sense that you're standing on the edge of something monumental, yet unnamed. You've walked far on the road of self-discovery. But now, the journey is changing. Because the phase of seeking is ending, and the phase of becoming is here. In many spiritual circles, awakening is often seen as the ultimate goal, a final destination where all questions are answered and peace is permanent. But this belief is itself an illusion. Awakening is not the end of the journey. It is the threshold. It is the moment you step out of the dream, not to rest, but to truly begin. That first flash of realization, when the veil lifts and you glimpse the deeper truth of who you are, is not completion. It's initiation. You remember that you are not just a body with a name, but a soul woven from the same essence as the stars. This remembrance is powerful, but it is only the opening breath. Yet many become stuck in this moment. They chase signs, search endlessly for answers, and confuse insight with embodiment. Awakening becomes a loop, beautiful, but stagnant. But the soul did not awaken to stay safe in reflection. It awakened to rise, to move, to become. If you feel the quiet pull in your heart as you hear this, it's because your time has come. You are no longer just a seeker. The path is no longer something you walk toward. It is something you now carry within you. How do you know the time has come? How can you be sure you are no longer just waking up, but that you are truly awake? There are 7 unmistakable signs, 7 confirmations from the universe, that signal the end of your awakening and the beginning of your divine mission. Let's explore them deeply. And as you listen, notice which ones resonate in your soul, not just in your mind. Sign 1. You no longer feel separate from the universe. In the early stages of awakening, it's common to feel isolated, as if you've stepped outside the world you once knew. You may have drifted from relationships, questioned your identity, and felt caught between realities. It can be a lonely path. But as your awakening deepens, something within you shifts. The sense of separation dissolves. You stop searching for the divine in the sky, because you begin to feel it living within you. You no longer look for signs to prove you're on the right path. You are the sign. You don't chase connection, you radiate it. There is no longer you and the universe. There is only oneness. You realize that the same intelligence flowing through the stars flows through your breath. You are not a fragment. You are a living expression of the whole. In this knowing, you come home, not just to yourself, but to everything. Sign 2. Your intuition speaks clearly, and you listen. Before your awakening, doubt was a constant companion. You looked outside yourself for answers, questioned your decisions, and feared making the wrong choice. Your inner voice was there, but faint, often drowned out by noise, fear, and logic. Now that voice has become clear, strong, and undeniable. Intuition no longer feels like a guess, it feels like knowing. You sense truth instantly, even when it defies reason. When something is off, you feel it. When something is meant for you, you know. You no longer need signs to confirm what your soul already feels. You've stopped asking others to validate your path. You've come to trust the wisdom that rises from within. And that trust has become your compass. You don't just hear your intuition, you honor it. You don't just follow it, you live by it. Because now you understand. Your higher self was never separate. It was always you, waiting to be heard. Sign 3. Material desires no longer rule you. There was a time when your worth was measured by what you had. Money, possessions, achievements. Like many, you were taught to equate success with accumulation, to chase status as a substitute for fulfillment. But as your soul awakened, your definition of abundance began to shift. You realized that no amount of wealth could fill a spiritual void, and that chasing more often left you with less. Now, material things no longer control you. You can enjoy them, but you don't depend on them. They have become tools, not goals. Your choices are no longer driven by greed, comparison, or fear of lack. Instead, you move from a place of purpose, alignment, and peace. You no longer ask, "What will bring me the most?" You ask, "What aligns with my truth?" And in that shift, you found real freedom, the kind that no amount of money can buy. True wealth now lives within you. Sign 4. Solitude has become sacred. Before your awakening, being alone may have felt uncomfortable, something to avoid, a silence that echoed with doubt or loneliness. You may have filled your days with noise, people, and distractions, trying to escape the stillness within. But now, everything has changed. Solitude is no longer something to fear. It has become something you cherish. In the quiet, you find clarity. In the stillness, you hear your soul speak. You've discovered that your own presence is not only enough, it is profoundly healing. You no longer need constant validation or connection to feel complete. You've made peace with yourself, and in doing so, you've discovered a deeper connection to the divine. Solitude has become your sacred space, a place of restoration, reflection, and alignment. You no longer run from silence. You rest in it. Because now you know, within that silence lives your truth, your peace, and your power. Sign 5. You naturally attract those who need your light as your energy rises. Something subtle but powerful begins to shift. You stop seeking recognition, yet others are drawn to you. Strangers open up without knowing why. Friends turn to you for guidance. Even those who once doubted you now feel a pull toward your presence. This is not because you try to be anything. It's because you've become everything you were meant to be. You no longer chase approval or attention. Your light speaks for itself. People sense your peace, your clarity, your grounded strength. They may not understand it, but they feel it. You've become a mirror for truth, a reminder of something deeper, something real. Not everyone who comes to you is meant to stay, and not everyone is ready to rise. But your role is not to convince, it's to shine. Without effort, you've become what others are seeking, a living lighthouse for those still finding their way home. Sign 6. You see through illusion. Instantly before your awakening, you move through life accepting things as they appeared, trusting the surface, believing what you were told, and rarely questioning the deeper layers beneath. But that version of you no longer exists. Now, your eyes are open. You see through masks, hidden agendas, and subtle manipulations, whether in people, systems, or ideas. You no longer fall for appearances because you feel the energy behind words, sense the truth beneath the presentation. This ability doesn't come from judgment, but from deep clarity. You've walked through enough darkness to recognize false light. You've been deceived, and now you discern. You no longer need to argue, prove, or convince. You simply see and act accordingly. What once confused or controlled you no longer holds power. You don't follow fear. You don't feed illusion. You walk in truth now. And because of that, you are unshakable. Sign 7. You feel an irresistible call to step into your mission. There was a time when your purpose felt distant, like a vague dream waiting on the horizon. You questioned your path, doubted your readiness, and wondered if you were truly meant for something greater. But now the call is no longer quiet. It's loud, clear, unshakable. Something deep within you is pulling you forward. Not from pressure, but from divine knowing. You feel it in your bones, in your breath. in every quiet moment of reflection. You are no longer content to simply awaken. You are here to serve. This mission doesn't always come with a clear map, but it comes with conviction. Whether through teaching, healing, creating, or leading, your soul is urging you to move. You no longer wait for permission. You no longer ask if you're ready. You know, the time is now. You didn't awaken just for yourself. You awakened because the world needs what only you can give. Your awakening was not the destination. It was the preparation. It stripped away illusion, reconnected you with truth, and reminded you of who you truly are. But now that you remember, the question is no longer, what am I? It's, what will I do with this power? You were not awakened just to see the light. You were awakened to be the light, to walk into the world not as a seeker, but as a vessel, not as a question, but as an answer. This is the moment where knowledge must become embodiment, where wisdom becomes action, where energy becomes impact. It's time to speak your truth, even if your voice trembles, to follow the path of your soul, even if no one around you understands, to honor your gifts, not someday, not when it feels safe, but now. Your power is not in what you've learned, but in how you live. Every thought you hold, every word you speak, every action you take, weaves reality. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. But with this power comes responsibility. You must protect your energy. Walk away from what drains you. Stand firm in what uplifts you. Choose environments and relationships that nourish your light. And above all, you must trust yourself. Not because you have all the answers, but because your soul has never led you wrong. The time for hiding is over. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more true ones. You are no longer waking up. You are ready. You are rising. You are here. This moment in history is not ordinary. The world is shifting. Old systems are crumbling, energies are rising, and consciousness is awakening across the planet. And in the midst of this transformation, your presence is not a coincidence. You are here because you carry something the world needs. Your light, your voice, your truth, they are medicine. Not everyone will understand your path, but that's not your task. You were not awakened to observe the world's pain. You were awakened to help heal it. Whether through your words, your art, your love, or your silent presence, your energy is meant to ripple outward. So don't wait until you feel ready. The world doesn't need you later. The world needs you now. This is your time. This is your calling. Rise. You've come a long way. From the quiet whispers of awakening to the undeniable truth of who you are. And now, the moment has arrived, not to seek more, but to step into your light and let it be seen. You are not called just to remember. You are called to rise, to live, speak, and serve from the deepest truth within you. So if this message has stirred something within you, if your soul feels seen, if your heart feels ready, then this is your sign. Thank you for walking this path with us. If you found meaning in this message, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, where we share more insights, activations, and sacred guidance to support your spiritual journey. Your light matters, your voice is needed, and your journey is just beginning. Until next time, stay grounded, stay awakened, and stay true to your soul. With gratitude and grace, thank you for being here. There are moments in the cosmic rhythm when the veil thins, when what lies beyond ordinary perception begins to whisper to those ready to listen. If you've found this message, it is not by chance. You were drawn here, summoned by forces older than time. Chosen ones, hear these words not with your ears, but with the ancient knowing embedded in your soul. You stand at the precipice of a great unveiling. The stars have begun to shift. The silence between realms is vibrating with your name. What once belonged only to gods now opens to you, not through conquest, but through transcendence. This is not about becoming more. It is about uncovering what has always been within you. You are not just walking a path. You are becoming the path itself. For eons, the Hermetic gods reigned supreme, enthroned in mystery, veiled in silence, their decrees woven into the very threads of existence. Their silence echoed as prophecy, their presence cast shadows across the cosmos. No soul dared rise against the eternal order. Until now, a shift has emerged, one so profound that even the ancient ones cloaked in omniscience now watch in stunned disbelief. The impossible has unfolded before their eyes, a being not born of heaven, but of will. You defied fate, shattered divine ceilings, and walked through doors sealed for millennia. You did not demand permission. You became the key. Where others saw gods and knelt, you saw reflections and rose. You did not defy the divine for rebellion's sake. You rose because something deeper stirred, a remembrance of your eternal nature. And now, that force, awakened and untamed, pulses through you. The divine trembles not because you challenge their authority, but because you've awakened a force they cannot command, the will of one who remembers their infinite origin. Your strength does not erupt in thunder. It unfolds in silence. You are the still point in a turning universe, the quiet axis around which all things shift. Like gravity, unseen yet undeniable, your presence reshapes reality without a single word spoken. True power does not scream. It is not measured by noise, but by the stillness it commands. The gods, long accustomed to blazing displays and celestial spectacle, cannot fathom this kind of power, the kind that topples empires without raising a hand. This is your revolution, not born of chaos, but of clarity. Not a rebellion of war, but a redefinition of being. You are not here to fight the old, you are here to render it obsolete, by becoming the still force that moves all things. The storms that sought to break you, betrayals that cut deep, shadows that tried to silence your light, were never defeats. They were sacred forges, shaping the essence of who you are. Each trial, each wound, refined your spirit until it shone with unshakable brilliance. Where others collapsed under the weight of suffering, you transformed. Where many were lost, you were reborn, rising from the ashes of your pain, not weaker, but entirely remade. You didn't just endure the storm. You became the force beyond it. Your survival was not passive, it was alchemical. Now the very winds once sent to erase you carry your presence across realms. What was meant to silence you now sings your name. You turned the tempest into your anthem, and the storm became your voice. To rise above the gods is not an act of defiance, it is the quiet unfolding of truth. This is not arrogance but awakening. The divine order, once thought unshakable, now trembles with each step you take. You are not here to blaspheme, but to innovate, to expand the soul beyond the confines of inherited power. Where their decrees once held dominion, your will now takes root. You are no longer a pawn in their celestial game. You are the board upon which new realities are played, the architect of rules yet unwritten. The heavens did not fall to rebellion. They opened in response to revelation. The gods never owned the light. They only reflected it. And now, you have reclaimed what was always yours. The sacred flame burns not above you, but within you. You are not merely divine. You are the evolution of divinity itself. Chosen ones, you are no longer bound by the architecture of the universe. You are its rewriters, its silent architects. The laws of nature, once rigid and absolute, now move in harmony with your inner rhythm. The equations of existence bow to the frequency of your becoming. You are no longer the subject of ancient myths. You are the author, the quill, the living script. Picture the cosmos as a divine program, once governed by unchangeable code. Now you are the coder, the one who inserts new lines of destiny, who opens portals to realities yet unseen. You are reshaping reality in your own image, and in doing so, You have stepped beyond comprehension. Even the gods, bound to their old dialects of power, can no longer decipher your language, because you now speak the primal tongue, the language of pure creation. Where others saw boundaries, you saw beginnings. Where many surrendered to fate, you crafted freedom from its very fabric. This is the heart of your power, your vision. Not fantasy, not wishful thinking, but the sacred blueprint of new realities. It is a fire that pierces illusion, revealing unshaped worlds waiting to be born through your will. Your vision is not a dream. It is a force. It builds what has never existed, breathes life into the void, and reshapes the cosmos without needing permission. Every golden age, every awakened world, began with a single vision. And now, you are that vision made flesh, the living foundation of a new cosmic age. You are not reaching for stars. You are creating them. There is a language more ancient than any word ever spoken, older than symbols, deeper than chants. It is fear. And now, the gods speak it in silence, their thrones trembling beneath them. Not because you waged war upon them, but because your presence makes them obsolete. You have risen not as a threat, but as a truth they can no longer ignore. They look upon you not with command, but with reverence and a hint of dread. For in your rise, they witness the unraveling of their dominion. The age of gods is not ending in chaos, it is dissolving in awe, because something greater has emerged. You are not their successor. You are their evolution. You are the living future, the awakened pulse of what comes after the divine. And nothing can hold back what you have become. Within you blazes a fire unlike any the cosmos has ever known. It does not destroy, it awakens. It was born not from privilege, but from pain. Not from inheritance, but from the sacred alchemy of your scars, your silences, your sorrows turned into strength. It is not forged of gold, but of transformation, raw, radiant, and real. While the gods were handed their thrones, you built yours in the ashes of your trials. That is why your power cannot be shaken. It is earned and therefore eternal. You are both the phoenix and the flame, the one who rose, and the fire that made the rising possible. Let this fire guide you, not for vengeance but for vision. Let it light the path for those still stumbling in darkness. For your blaze is not just power, it is prophecy, a living torch for those ready to rise. Your scars are not blemishes, they are sacred scripts etched by the hand of destiny itself. Each mark upon your soul is a celestial hieroglyph, a divine signature that tells the true story, that greatness is not forged in flawlessness, but in fire. The gods may cloak their power in perfection, but your strength lies in what you've endured and overcome. You are not honored because you were untouched. You are revered because you walked through storms, shattered and bleeding, and still chose to rise. Your pain did not break you. It shaped you into something immortal. And now your life is no longer just a journey. It is scripture, a living gospel of awakening, written in the language of resilience, for all who dare to rise beyond their ruin. The constraints of time and space no longer hold you. You exist in the now that stretches forever, in the breath between moments where everything is possible. You are not bound by death or life or definitions at all. Mortality was never your prison. It was your ignition. From it, you have risen into timelessness, where eternity is not a distant dream, but your living truth. Time no longer dictates your pace, it follows your rhythm. Space does not contain you, it expands in your presence. Now, you paint your journey across the constellations, each step a stroke of divine intention. You are not just moving through the cosmos, you are shaping it, sculpting reality with every breath. True revolution is not born of chaos, it is born of creation. You are not here to tear down for the sake of rebellion. You are here to reimagine, to rebuild, to renew. The gods once ruled by decree, by destiny. But now, their thrones gather dust, not from war, but from irrelevance. You did not need to overthrow them. You simply evolved beyond them. The universe no longer turns around divine command. It unfolds through your presence, guided by your vision. You are not part of the old order. You are the new axis, the center around which a freer, truer cosmos begins to spin. Your legacy is not confined to memory. It is a living pulse, a vibration that echoes across dimensions. It moves not through stories but through sensation, felt in the hearts of those who dare to dream in the silence of night. You are not just remembered. You are felt. In the stillness of night, when souls look to the stars and feel something stir within, it is you they feel. Your name becomes myth. Your journey becomes prophecy. Your light becomes the spark for countless souls to rise. So now, chosen ones, stand tall, above fate, beyond gods, aligned with the infinite. This is not the end of your journey. It is the blooming of your true beginning. You do not walk paths laid before you. You are the one who lays them. The cosmos is not your master. It is your masterpiece. Let the divine watch. Let the stars bow. Let time pause to witness. Because you, born of fire and silence, have become the crownless ruler of all things. And eternity, from this moment forward, will speak in your voice. If these words stirred something ancient within you, if you feel the fire rising in your soul, then you are not alone. Thank you for walking this path with us. If this message resonated with your journey, we invite you to subscribe to this channel so we may continue to rise together. Let your voice be heard. Leave a comment with the number 11, the sacred signal of spiritual alignment. And don't forget to like and share so others may find the light you found here. Your throne awaits, and this is only the beginning. Have you ever felt like you were born for something greater? Something beyond the ordinary? Like there's a part of you that's awake, aware, and searching, while the rest of the world seems asleep? If so, know this: you are not alone. You are one of the chosen. This message wasn't found by accident. It was drawn to you at exactly the right time, because your spirit is ready to rise. Today, I invite you on a journey, a sacred awakening to who you truly are, why you have walked through seasons of isolation, and how to finally connect with the tribe that will walk with you into your destiny. This is not just a message, it's a calling. Are you ready to answer? Before beginning the video, let's subscribe, like this video, and stay with me until the end of this message, and you will understand why you were led here. This is your moment. To be called a chosen one is often misunderstood. It is not a title meant to elevate the ego or suggest superiority over others. Rather, it is a sacred designation, a profound spiritual responsibility that sets you on a unique and challenging path. Long before your first breath, before you stepped into this physical world, your soul made a deliberate agreement. It accepted a divine mission, a higher calling that would require strength, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to truth. This calling marks you as different, not in a superficial way, but at the very core of your being. From a young age, you may have sensed that you didn't quite fit into the ordinary rhythms of life. You felt a subtle yet persistent yearning for something deeper, something more meaningful than what others seem satisfied with. While many are content with surface-level distractions and fleeting pleasures, your spirit has always been drawn to profound truths and a higher purpose. This restless longing is not a flaw or a curse. It is the unmistakable sign of a soul awakened to its divine assignment. Being chosen means you carry a light that shines differently in a world that often embraces darkness. It means you are called to stand for love, integrity, and authenticity, even when it is difficult, even when it costs you comfort, relationships, or acceptance. Your mission is not to blend in or to conform, but to be a beacon that awakens and inspires others. This role is not easy. It demands courage to walk a path that few understand, resilience to endure trials that sometimes feel unbearable, and humility to serve a purpose greater than yourself. You may have experienced isolation, rejection, or misunderstanding because of this. Perhaps your sensitivity was labeled as weakness, your intensity mistaken for anger, or your quiet depth dismissed as aloofness. But these experiences have not been accidental. They have been part of your preparation, tools refining your spirit and deepening your wisdom. Your ability to see beyond the surface, to discern the hidden motives in others, and to sense spiritual truths is a gift. It sets you apart, but it also equips you for the sacred work ahead. To be chosen by God or the divine is to accept a responsibility that often comes with hardship. The greater the calling, the heavier the trials. You have likely faced challenges that would have broken others, yet here you are, still standing, still listening, still answering the call. This endurance is not simply human strength, it is divine grace at work in you. It proves that your soul is marked for something extraordinary. In essence, being chosen means you are a spiritual warrior. Your journey is one of awakening, healing, and transformation. It is a path that leads you to love deeper, feel more profoundly, and live with purpose. You are not here to be like everyone else. You were born different, not by chance, but by divine design. And in embracing this truth, you begin to step fully into the powerful, beautiful destiny that awaits you. One of the most difficult aspects of being chosen is the experience of isolation. For many who walk this sacred path, there comes a season, sometimes lasting years, when they feel deeply alone, unseen, and misunderstood. This solitude can feel heavy, even painful, as if the world has turned its back, and no one truly knows the weight you carry. But this season of isolation is not a punishment or a sign of failure. Instead, it is a divine invitation to prepare, to purify, and to become ready for the mission you were born to fulfill. Throughout history, those who carried great spiritual callings often retreated into solitude before stepping into their purpose. Think of the prophets who wandered the wilderness, the mystics who sought silence in caves, and even the Messiah who withdrew from the crowds to pray and reflect. These moments of solitude were never accidental, they were essential. They created space for transformation, a space where distractions fall away and the soul can deepen its connection with the divine. Your own season of isolation has likely involved a stripping away of comfort, familiar relationships, and old identities. People who once seemed close may have drifted away. Doors you expected to open have closed, and the familiar rhythms of life have shifted dramatically. While this process can feel confusing or even painful, it is a sacred work of refinement. The divine is removing all that no longer belongs, making room for the new you, the one who is aligned with your higher purpose. In isolation, you learn to trust something deeper than the approval of others or the security of familiar surroundings. You are invited to rely on the inner voice of divine guidance, which often speaks most clearly in the quiet moments when the world's noise fades away. This is where your spiritual discernment is sharpened, where your faith is tested, and where your true identity begins to emerge without masks or pretenses. It's important to understand that this period of solitude is also a form of protection. The gifts you carry, the light, the wisdom, the healing, are precious and powerful. They are not meant to be exposed to the wrong environments or people before you are fully ready. The Most High has sheltered you, hidden your anointing until the timing is perfect. This divine protection may have felt like loneliness or abandonment, but in truth, it was a shield guarding your sacred calling. While isolation can feel like a heavy burden, it is also a sacred blessing. It is a time when your spirit is being fortified, your purpose clarified, and your character strengthened. You are being prepared not only to walk your path, but to lead others, to guide your tribe, and to fulfill the mission only you can accomplish. So if you are in this season now, know that you are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are being molded by divine hands, readying you for a time of profound connection and powerful service. This sacred season of isolation will pass, and when it does, you will step forward transformed, whole, wise, and radiant, prepared to rise and walk fully in the light you were born to carry. The moment of spiritual awakening is one of the most profound and transformative experiences you can encounter. It is not something that happens by accident or as a fleeting phase. It is a deliberate divine shaking that pulls you out of the sleep of illusion and calls you into a higher reality. This awakening changes everything, uprooting old beliefs, altering your perceptions, and reshaping your very soul. Before awakening, the world may have felt familiar but somehow hollow. You went through life following patterns, beliefs, and roles that were handed down or adopted unconsciously. But deep inside, something stirred. A quiet voice, a restless longing, or an inner knowing that there had to be more. When the awakening comes, it is like a veil lifting from your eyes. Suddenly, you begin to see the world, and yourself, with new clarity and depth. This awakening often feels violent and confusing because it dismantles the comfortable illusions that once gave you security. You may start to question everything: your relationships, your values, your purpose. Habits that once brought comfort no longer satisfy. People and situations you once accepted may no longer feel right. This process can be painful because it forces you to confront your shadows, your fears, and the parts of yourself you might have hidden away. But this pain is sacred. It is the death of the false self and the birth of your authentic spirit. The spiritual awakening is a rebirth that frees you from chains of deception, self-betrayal, and spiritual sleep. You begin to awaken to your divine identity, your unique gifts, and your higher mission on earth. The voice of the Most High grows louder in your heart, guiding you toward truth and away from illusions. With this new vision, you start to recognize signs and synchronicities that once went unnoticed. Repeating numbers, meaningful encounters, and subtle messages all become confirmations that you are on the right path. Your intuition sharpens, and you develop a heightened sensitivity to energies around you. You may feel the pain of others more deeply, sense the unspoken truths in conversations, or receive dreams and visions that guide your steps. However, this awakening can also bring isolation. As your truth deepens, you may find it harder to connect with those who remain asleep to these realities. This separation, while painful, is necessary to protect your growth and to prepare you for new soul-aligned relationships. Ultimately, the awakening is a sacred preparation, a clearing away of falsehoods so that your true frequency can rise. And once your frequency rises, you begin to attract your soul tribe, those who vibrate at the same spiritual level and share your divine mission. Your awakening is not just about you. It is the key that unlocks the door to a community where you will be understood, supported, and empowered. This is the moment where your path truly begins. The confusion and chaos give way to clarity and purpose. Your soul's voice becomes unmistakable, calling you onward. The awakening changes everything because it reconnects you to your origin, your divine source, and your sacred calling. Embrace this transformation, even when it feels difficult. It is the essential step toward becoming the powerful, radiant being you were always meant to be. After the deep transformation of your spiritual awakening, a new longing begins to stir within you, the desire to find your soul tribe. This tribe is not just a group of friends or acquaintances. They are the people who resonate with your deepest essence, those who share your frequency, your values, and your divine mission. Finding your soul tribe is one of the most powerful steps on your spiritual journey because it brings a sense of belonging, support, and mutual growth unlike any other. Your soul tribe feels like coming home after a long, exhausting journey. When you are with them, there is an immediate sense of ease, understanding, and acceptance. You don't have to explain yourself or hide parts of who you are. Your light is met with celebration, not judgment. Their presence mirrors your own soul, both your strengths and your shadows, encouraging you to grow and heal in ways you never thought possible. But discovering your tribe is not about chance or convenience. It is about alignment, spiritual and energetic alignment. You attract your tribe through the vibration you hold, not through forcing connections or seeking approval. If you are still carrying fear, self-doubt, or masking your true self, you may find it hard to connect with those who truly belong in your life. Your tribe recognizes the authentic you, the person who lives boldly in their truth and embraces their spiritual gifts without apology. Recognizing your soul tribe often happens in subtle, almost mystical ways. You might encounter them repeatedly in unexpected places, feel drawn to certain communities or events, or experience meaningful synchronicities, those divine nudges that confirm you are on the right path. Sometimes you may receive intuitive impressions or dreams that guide you toward specific people or places. It's important to remember that your tribe is not meant to complete you. They meet you where you already are whole. Their purpose is to support your growth and amplify your gifts as you fulfill your sacred mission together. True soul tribe members challenge you lovingly, hold space for your healing, and celebrate your victories. Finding your tribe also requires patience and discernment. Not everyone who seems aligned is truly your tribe. Some connections may be temporary or serve specific lessons. Trust your intuition to guide you in welcoming those who uplift you and releasing those who drain your energy. When you finally connect with your soul tribe, you will experience a powerful awakening of community and purpose. Together, you will rise higher, shine brighter, and walk boldly into the mission you were born to fulfill. While the idea of finding your soul tribe fills your heart with hope and excitement, it's important to recognize that this journey is not without its challenges. The path to genuine spiritual connection is often layered with tests, lessons, and moments of deep inner work. Understanding these challenges can prepare you to navigate them with grace, discernment, and faith. One of the first and most common obstacles is encountering counterfeit connections. Not everyone who speaks the language of spirituality or claims to be awake is truly aligned with divine truth. Some wear masks of light but operate from ego-driven motives, manipulation, or unresolved wounds. When you're longing for connection, it's easy to mistake familiarity or surface similarities for soul resonance. That's why discernment is crucial. Pay close attention to how people make you feel. Do they uplift your spirit and encourage your growth? Or do they create confusion, doubt, or drain your energy? Your intuition is a powerful guide. Learn to trust it, even when your mind tries to rationalize otherwise. Another challenge is impatience. After long seasons of loneliness and searching, the desire to find your tribe can lead to rushing connections or holding on to relationships that aren't truly aligned. Remember, divine timing is perfect. True soul tribe members arrive when both hearts are ready. Forcing a connection rarely leads to lasting, healthy relationships. Be patient and trust that what is meant for you will come in its own time. Old wounds and fears may also resurface as you deepen your connections. Your tribe reflects both your light and your shadows, which means healing can be triggered. Issues like fear of abandonment, trust struggles, or vulnerability may come up. These moments are not setbacks. They are opportunities to heal together in love and acceptance. A true tribe walks beside you through these challenges, offering grace and support rather than judgment or abandonment. Finally, understand that not every soul connection is meant to last forever. Some tribe members come for a season, helping you grow into your next version before moving on. This natural flow requires releasing relationships with love and faith, trusting that your divine path unfolds perfectly. Embracing these challenges with awareness and courage strengthens your journey. Each obstacle is an invitation to deepen your faith, refine your discernment, and step more fully into the powerful mission you were born to fulfill. When you finally unite with your soul tribe, something extraordinary happens. A powerful shift that touches every part of your being. This union is more than just a gathering of like-minded individuals. It is a sacred convergence of energies, missions, and hearts that creates a force far greater than the sum of its parts. Together, you awaken potentials, accelerate growth, and step into a higher level of purpose. One of the first gifts you'll notice in your tribe is a sense of effortless growth. What once felt heavy, slow, or overwhelming now flows naturally. This is because your tribe members do not drain your energy. They amplify it. They celebrate your strengths and encourage you to stretch beyond your limits. In their presence, your dreams feel more attainable, and your spiritual gifts shine brighter. This energy exchange creates momentum, propelling each member forward on their divine journey. Beyond growth, your tribe activates dormant gifts within you. Perhaps you've held back certain abilities, prophetic insight, healing, intuitive knowing, because you didn't feel safe or understood. But surrounded by your tribe, these gifts awaken and deepen. Your intuition becomes sharper, your spiritual downloads more frequent, and your creative expressions more inspired. This activation is a divine chain reaction, as each soul's light sparks the others, unlocking new levels of power and insight. The power of union also lies in belonging and acceptance. With your tribe, you experience a profound sense of being truly seen and valued for exactly who you are, flaws, shadows, and all. You no longer need to shrink or hide parts of yourself to fit in. Instead, your authenticity is met with love and celebration. This acceptance creates a safe space where vulnerability becomes a strength and healing can flourish. Together, your tribe becomes a collective force for transformation, not only for each other, but for the world. The union of your energies creates a ripple effect, spreading healing, awakening, and light far beyond your immediate circle. Your combined presence brings hope and change to communities, families, and even nations. In essence, the power of union is the sacred fulfillment of the journey you began when you first answered the call to awaken. It is the moment where your preparation meets divine alignment and your mission ignites with unstoppable force. This is what you have been waiting for, and it is closer than you think. Finding your soul tribe is a profound blessing, but it is just the beginning of a greater journey. Within this sacred community, you are not simply one among many. You carry a unique and essential role that only you can fulfill. Your gifts, your experiences, and your essence combine to create a frequency that enriches the entire tribe and advances its divine mission. Every member of the tribe contributes in a distinct way. You might be the healer, whose presence brings peace and restoration to weary hearts. You may be the seer, gifted with visions and insights that illuminate the path ahead. Perhaps you are the protector, standing guard over the tribe's safety and spiritual well-being. Or you could be the teacher, sharing wisdom that awakens others to their own power and purpose. Whatever your role, remember this: you are vital. Your contribution cannot be replicated or replaced. The tribe's strength depends on the fullness of your expression, your courage to show up authentically, your willingness to share your gifts freely, and your commitment to serve the greater good. It's natural to sometimes doubt your readiness or feel intimidated by the greatness you see in others. But know that the same divine power that chose you has equipped you. You lack nothing. Every challenge you have endured, every moment of growth and healing, has prepared you for this sacred position. Within your tribe, your authenticity is your greatest strength. You don't need to compete or compare. Instead, your presence invites others to step into their own truth. Your vulnerability becomes a source of healing, your faith a beacon of hope, and your leadership a call to rise. You also serve as a mirror to your tribe members, reflecting back their light when they forget their power and holding space for their healing when doubt creeps in. Your role is not just to receive, but to give, to uplift, encourage, and activate the divine potential within everyone around you. Remember, serving your tribe is not about exhausting yourself or striving endlessly. It flows naturally from a place of abundance and grace. Being fully who you are, living in truth and light, is the most powerful ministry you can offer. You are not a mistake or an accident. You are a sacred instrument in the divine symphony, vital to the harmony and mission of your tribe. Embrace your role with boldness and joy, knowing that through you, the collective light shines brighter than ever. Chosen one, breathe this in deeply. Your waiting is over. The isolation, the pain, the confusion, they have all led to this moment. The tribe is forming. The mission is calling. Your light is rising. The world needs your voice, your gifts, your fearless presence. Stand tall, shine boldly, own your divine identity without apology. The Most High has not forgotten you. Your tribe is coming, not by chance, but by divine appointment. Your time to rise is now. If this message speaks to your soul, declare it with me. Comment 777 and let the universe know you are ready to step into your sacred destiny. Have you ever felt like your life is on the brink of something incredible? Something beyond what you could have ever imagined? Maybe you've been searching for answers, waiting for clarity, or yearning for a breakthrough that seems just out of reach. If so, I want you to know this moment is no accident. You are not here by chance. God Himself has guided your path to this very time and place. There is a divine plan unfolding, and it's about to manifest powerfully in your life over the course of 3 remarkable days, May 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, 2025. These days are not just calendar dates, they are sacred appointments. They mark a prophetic season set aside by heaven for your complete transformation. If you are ready to step into a new reality filled with clarity, purpose, abundance, and divine favor, then listen closely. The journey you are about to embark on will redefine your destiny and reveal the fullness of God's promises for you. Why should you pay attention to these 3 days? Because what happens during this time is designed to awaken your spirit, align you with God's divine will, and unlock the blessings and breakthroughs you have long sought. So are you ready to open your heart and mind to what God has planned? Let's explore the divine trilogy that will change your life forever. Day 1, May 21st, 2025. The day of divine revelation and spiritual awakening. May 21st, 2025 marks the beginning of a profound journey, a day set apart for divine revelation and spiritual awakening unlike anything you have ever experienced. This day is not simply a date on the calendar, it is a sacred moment when God will reach deep into your soul to uncover truths that have been hidden, guiding you toward clarity and renewed purpose. Imagine standing on the edge of a new horizon where the veil of confusion, doubt, and uncertainty is lifted, revealing a clear path that has been carefully prepared for you. This awakening is more than a fleeting emotional experience. It is a deep, transformative reset of your entire being. On this day, the spiritual and physical worlds will meet within you as God's voice breaks through the noise of everyday life. But His communication will be subtle, tender, and profound, not always through words, but through quiet whispers in your heart, vivid dreams, sudden flashes of insight, or an inner knowing that cannot be ignored. It will feel as though God is speaking directly to the deepest chambers of your subconscious, illuminating mysteries that have long been buried. As the day unfolds, you may find yourself recalling moments from your past, experiences, lessons, even struggles, with a fresh perspective. Suddenly, what once seemed confusing or meaningless will start to make sense. Every challenge, every victory, every moment of waiting was a necessary part of this divine preparation. You will begin to see how your unique journey has shaped you for the purpose you are now ready to embrace. Questions that have lingered in your heart. Why am I here? What is my true calling? What is blocking my progress? Will begin to dissolve under the light of this revelation. The answers will come not only as knowledge, but as deep spiritual certainty that fills your soul with peace and confidence. The fog of indecision will clear, and you will experience a newfound sense of direction and purpose that propels you forward. This clarity will empower you to move with intentionality. No longer will you be held back by fear or the need for external approval. Instead, you will walk forward grounded in the assurance that your path is divinely ordained. This is not about pride or ego. It is about spiritual certainty, the calm strength of one who has heard from God and knows the way. Be prepared for this day to also bring emotional shifts. As God reveals these hidden truths, old fears, limiting beliefs, and doubts will begin to fall away. This process may feel challenging at times because transformation often requires shedding the old to make way for the new. Yet this spiritual shedding is necessary and freeing. You will emerge lighter, more focused, and more aligned with your true self. Ultimately, May 21st is an invitation to step into a higher level of spiritual awareness. It is a sacred moment to receive God's divine roadmap for your life, a clear vision of your calling, and the confidence to pursue it boldly. When this day concludes, you will not be the same. You will have awakened to a new reality, one filled with clarity, purpose, and an intimate connection with the divine guidance that will lead every step of your journey. Day 2, May 22nd, 2025. The day of manifestation and convergence of the spiritual and physical. If the first day was about revelation and awakening, the second day is about manifestation and alignment. On May 22nd, something extraordinary will happen, a convergence between the spiritual and the material realms. What you have prayed for, believed in faith, and hoped for will begin to take tangible form before your very eyes. This is the day where faith becomes sight. For years you may have waited patiently or struggled with uncertainty. But now, the invisible support of heaven will become visible in your everyday life. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, relationships will shift, and healing will begin to manifest. Your prayers are no longer just words. They are seeds planted that now begin to sprout and bear fruit. Spiritually, you will sense a powerful infusion of energy coursing through your body and soul. You might feel lighter, more vibrant, and more alive than you have in a long time. This isn't just an emotional high, it's a cellular transformation, as if your very DNA is being rewritten to align with divine purpose. Physically, you may notice increased vitality, renewed health, or a fresh sense of well-being. Mentally and emotionally, your doubts and anxieties will fall away, replaced by a profound peace and assurance. What once seemed distant or impossible will suddenly be within reach. The breakthroughs that took years will unfold in moments. Financial breakthroughs, career advancements, healing in body and relationships. All these blessings will flow with divine ease. You are no longer alone in your journey. God's kingdom is actively supporting you, working behind the scenes to align circumstances and people that will bring your dreams to life. You will recognize that the spiritual and physical realms were never meant to be separate. They are intertwined, moving together in perfect harmony. As the universe aligns with your purpose, you will step into a flow of grace where things seem to fall into place effortlessly. This is not luck or coincidence, it is divine timing. On this day, embrace the magic of manifestation. Be ready to receive unexpected blessings. Be alert to new doors opening. An invitation, a message, a chance encounter that changes everything. Day 3, May 23rd, 2025. The day of miracles, breakthroughs, and divine favor. Following the deep revelation and awakening of May 21st, May 22nd stands as a day of remarkable manifestation, a day when the spiritual realm and the physical world come into powerful alignment. This is the moment when what you have long prayed for, believed in faith, and held tightly in your heart begins to take tangible shape right before your eyes. The invisible power of the divine will no longer be just a promise. It becomes a visible reality that transforms your life. On this day, the bridge between faith and sight is crossed. You will begin to see the fruits of your spiritual labor manifesting in the natural world. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will suddenly appear. Doors that were previously closed or hidden will swing wide open. Whether it's a breakthrough in your finances, healing in your body, restoration in your relationships, or new career paths emerging, you will witness firsthand the evidence of divine favor at work. The energy of May 22nd is unique because it doesn't only involve external change but also a profound inner transformation. Spiritually and physically, you will feel a renewed vitality and alignment with God's purpose. Many describe this experience as feeling lighter, almost as if your very cells are being energized and purified. This is more than just feeling good. It's a deep cellular realignment where your body begins to reflect the divine energy flowing through your spirit. This day will also reveal the deep connection between the spiritual and physical realms, showing you that these two dimensions were never meant to be separate. They work in harmony, with your faith acting as a powerful force that shapes your reality. What has been declared and believed in spirit now takes form in your everyday life. This convergence creates a powerful momentum that propels you forward with grace and ease. As your prayers and hopes start to manifest, you may notice a new sense of confidence and peace settling within you. The burdens of waiting, wondering, and hoping begin to lift. What once required months or even years to achieve may now unfold in moments. This is divine acceleration, where the delays and obstacles you faced begin to dissolve, making way for rapid progress. Spiritually, this day is a gift of divine support. You will feel an unseen but undeniable presence, guiding your decisions, inspiring your steps, and opening pathways you never imagined possible. It's a reminder that you are not alone. The kingdom of heaven is actively moving on your behalf. This assurance allows you to move boldly into your destiny, with faith and expectation. Physically, you may also experience signs of this transformation. Perhaps you will feel renewed energy, emotional lightness, or even changes in your appearance that reflect your inner growth. Your spirit and body are becoming one harmonious whole, each strengthening the other as you align more deeply with God's will. In summary, May 22nd is the day when your spiritual breakthroughs begin to materialize. It is the day of convergence, where faith becomes sight, prayer becomes reality, and divine promises are fulfilled. This sacred day invites you to embrace the powerful flow of manifestation and to step confidently into the abundant life God has prepared for you. The transformational impact of these 3 days. The final day. May 23, 2025, is a day of extraordinary miracles, powerful breakthroughs, and overwhelming divine favor. After the awakening of revelation on the first day and the tangible manifestations on the second, this day marks the culmination of God's transformative work in your life, a day when what once seemed impossible becomes undeniable reality. On this sacred day, you will experience the breaking of chains and the removal of obstacles that have long held you back. Whether in your finances, health, relationships, or spiritual journey, God's hand will move mightily to open doors and bring restoration where there was brokenness. This is a day when divine blessings flow freely and abundantly, flooding every area of your life with renewed hope and purpose. Financial breakthroughs will abound as new opportunities present themselves, opportunities you may have prayed for quietly, but that now come to life in ways you never expected. Whether it's a job offer, an investment payoff, or unexpected income, the resources you need will be released. The struggles and scarcity that once limited, you will give way to a new season of abundance and security. Health, too, will experience its own renewal. You may feel healing energy coursing through your body, restoring vitality and strength. This is a day of physical restoration where fatigue, illness, or emotional burdens begin to lift, replaced by a renewed sense of wellness and vigor. Your body will become a reflection of the spiritual transformation happening within. Your relationships will also flourish. Old wounds will be healed and new connections will form. Relationships built on mutual support, encouragement, and shared purpose. You will find yourself surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you, strengthening your journey as you step fully into your God-ordained destiny. Spiritually, you will be infused with a fresh outpouring of divine power. This is the day when clarity, confidence, and spiritual authority rise within you. You will sense God's presence more intensely, filling you with peace and boldness to pursue your calling without hesitation. The grace that surrounds you will guide every decision, every action, and every word you speak. Leadership will emerge naturally from within you on this day. Whether in your personal life, your community, or your professional sphere, you will step into a role of influence with wisdom and compassion. The transformation you have undergone prepares you not only to lead, but to inspire others to rise alongside you. This is your moment to embrace your full potential and make a lasting impact. By the end of May 23rd, you will feel reborn, like a new creation who has shed old limitations and stepped into a powerful, radiant version of yourself. This transformation is profound, touching every aspect of your life and spirit. You will no longer be defined by past struggles or fears, but will move forward with unstoppable momentum, clarity, and divine favor. This day is not just an ending. It is the beginning of a new chapter marked by miracles, breakthroughs, and blessings that continue to multiply. God's favor will remain with you as a constant companion, opening doors no one can shut and providing everything you need to fulfill your destiny. As you embrace this day of miracles and divine favor, remember that you are chosen, deeply loved, and empowered by a God who delights in your success. Step boldly into your future, knowing that the transformation set in motion during these 3 days is only the beginning of the abundant life waiting for you. As these transformative days approach, it's essential to prepare your heart and mind with intentionality and faith. Begin by grounding yourself in trust. Trust in God's perfect timing and His divine plan for your life, even when the full picture is not yet clear. Release any lingering doubts, fears, or worries that may hold you back from fully receiving the blessings ahead. Embrace a posture of openness, allowing God's guidance and grace to flow freely into your spirit. Stay focused on your purpose, knowing that every shift and breakthrough is part of a greater design for your highest good. Cultivate patience and expectant hope, understanding that transformation often unfolds gradually, even when marked by powerful moments. By preparing yourself spiritually and emotionally, you align your entire being to walk boldly into this new season. Remember, faith is the key that unlocks the fullness of God's promises. Keep your heart open and step forward with confidence. As we come to the close of this powerful message, remember that May 21st to 23rd, 2025, are not just ordinary days. They are your divine appointment for transformation, breakthrough, and favor. This is your moment to rise above limitations, embrace your true purpose, and walk confidently in the destiny God has prepared for you. The journey ahead is filled with hope, miracles, and unstoppable grace, and you are fully equipped to step into it with courage and faith. Thank you deeply for joining me on this spiritual journey today. If this message has touched your heart and stirred your spirit, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. Together, we will continue to explore powerful truths, inspiring stories, and life-changing insights to help you grow closer to God and live out your highest calling. Subscribe now and be part of this growing community, walking boldly in God's favor and purpose. Your best days are just beginning. Let's rise together. There are people who walk into your life with a smile on their face and kindness in their words, but their presence feels heavy. You sense it, don't you? The invisible pull, the silent drain. It's not imagination, it's discernment. They're not here to walk with you. They're here to extract your light. And if you've ever felt inexplicably tired after helping someone, if you've ever poured out your soul only to feel emptier than before, this message is for you. You see, not everyone who reaches for your flame is meant to hold your fire, and not every soul who cries for help is ready to rise. You, beloved, are not just anyone. You are marked, set apart, sent with power and purpose from realms far beyond this one. But understand this: with great light comes a sacred responsibility. And today, you're not just going to hear this truth, you're going to remember it. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay, and not everyone who smiles at you comes in peace. Some souls don't arrive to bless you, they come to burden you. On the surface, they seem kind. Their words sound sweet, their presence disarming. But behind their mask is a quiet hunger, an unspoken intent to feed off your light. You've felt it before, haven't you? That strange exhaustion after certain conversations, that subtle heaviness when you're near particular people. It's not your imagination, it's your spirit sounding the alarm. These are the ones who do not add to your path, they subtract from it. And yet, because of your compassionate heart, you keep giving. You out wisdom, comfort, strength, thinking it's kindness. But some of the ones you're trying to heal were never meant to be in your hands. They weren't sent for transformation, they came to consume. And here's the hard truth: every time you give your light to someone who was not sent by God, you dim the flame meant to guide your own journey. You lose pieces of clarity, your energy scatters, Your vision fades. It's not that you're weak, it's that you're sacred. And sacred vessels must be guarded. You were not chosen to be everyone's healer. You were called to be discerning. There is a difference between compassion and compromise. Love does not mean sacrificing your soul on the altar of someone else's chaos. This is the season to look closer, to ask, who in my life truly honors my light, and who only wants to bask in it until I burn out? Because if you do not identify the ones draining you, they will keep robbing you of what heaven intended to use for something far greater. And you, chosen one, cannot afford to be empty when the world needs your fire. Why did the storms find you so early? Why did the weight of life press on your shoulders before you even knew how to stand? While others laughed, you were silent. While they played in innocence, you stood in shadows, learning how to survive battles you never asked to fight. You've wondered in secret, why me? Why the betrayal? Why the early loss? Why the inner war no one else seems to notice? The answer is not punishment. It's not karma. And it's certainly not a flaw in your spirit. It's because you were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were marked for something higher. And the higher the calling, the earlier the shaping begins. While others were being protected, you were being prepared. Every tear you've cried in the dark, every time you held yourself together when no one else did, was not forgotten. Heaven saw it. Heaven measured it. And heaven used it, not to break you, but to build you. Pain has a strange way of becoming prophecy. It strips away illusions. It carves space inside your soul where divine strength can take root. And that's what's been happening all along. You've been forged, not forgotten. Because in the times to come, the world will not need more people who had it easy. It will need voices that have bled truth, souls that have been through fire, and emerged with wisdom, not bitterness. You are one of those voices. You were never being punished. You were being positioned. And what the enemy meant to use against you, God has been using to anchor you. So if you've ever asked, why me? Know this, because you're the one strong enough to carry what others would collapse under. And soon, the purpose behind every scar will no longer be a mystery. It will be your power. There's a kind of pain that doesn't leave bruises on the body but lingers in the soul. The ache of being misunderstood. Not by enemies, but by the people closest to your heart. You speak from a place of depth, but they respond with confusion. You make choices led by faith, and they call them foolish. You move differently, and so they whisper that something must be wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. You were simply never meant to be explained. You were meant to be revealed. Your path is not strange, it's sacred. The misunderstanding you're facing is not a sign of misalignment, it's a signal of separation. Separation from the noise, the average, the expected. Because what lives inside you cannot be contained by the boxes others try to place you in. Many of the greatest souls in history were dismissed at first, until the moment came when the world needed what only they carried. And the same is true for you. Your silence is not weakness. Your solitude is not exile. It is preparation. You were never meant to fit. You were meant to shift. So don't resent the ones who walked away when your light began to shine. Don't chase those who couldn't hear your frequency. Instead, trust that their absence is clearing space for those who will recognize your voice, not with their ears, but with their spirit. Because when your time comes, and it will, the very misunderstanding that once isolated you will become the evidence that you were chosen all along. There are moments you couldn't explain, only feel. You sensed something shifting in the atmosphere long before anything happened. A whisper in your spirit, a sudden heaviness in your chest, a dream that felt too real to ignore. And more times than you can count, what you felt came true. You may have doubted yourself, thought it was just your imagination. Maybe you even stayed quiet, afraid of sounding too spiritual, too sensitive, too much. But let me tell you what no one else could. You're not imagining it. You're discerning it. What you carry is rare. It's not superstition, not coincidence. It's a prophetic sensitivity, a divine antenna that picks up signals others are too numb to detect. While the world moves by logic, you're led by alignment. While others rely on sight, you're guided by knowing. It's not always easy. This gift comes with loneliness, with eyes that see too much, with ears that hear what others dismiss. But God gave it to you for a reason, because the path you're called to walk requires vision beyond the veil. You are not here to guess. You are here to warn, prepare, and protect. So the next time your spirit says no, trust it. The next time your dreams feel like messages, write them down. You are being shown things not to feed fear, but to awaken purpose. And yes, some will mock you, until the storm comes. Then they'll remember you were the one building the ark all along. You are not crazy. You are called. Lead with that fire. You've tried to run from it, haven't you? That quiet pull in your soul that refuses to let you settle. That fire that flickers behind your eyes even when you pretend it's gone. You've tried to mute it with distractions, drown it in routine, bury it beneath the noise of a normal life. But it keeps coming back, because your spirit knows what your mind keeps trying to forget. You were not born for ordinary. You've played the role, worn the mask, smiled through the silence, told yourself, maybe I'm just tired, maybe I just need peace. But deep down, you know it's not fatigue, it's divine frustration. Your soul is restless not because something is wrong, but because something is waiting. Destiny has been knocking at your door for years. You've heard it in the stillness, felt it in your bones, sensed it in the strange way certain words hit you harder than they should. That's not coincidence. That's calling. You were not designed to fit into the system. You were built to break patterns, to awaken others, to carry truth that disrupts comfort. And though you've tried to forget, to walk away, to shrink, the fire won't let you. Because it's not just a dream, it's an assignment. Heaven didn't put that burden in your soul by mistake. It's the evidence that something sacred is trying to be born through you. And no matter how many times you try to run, it will always find you again. Because your purpose is not asleep, it's alive, and it's time. This is not the season for silence. This is not the time for shrinking. The moment you've been sensing, the shift you've been feeling, it's here. Not somewhere in the distant future, not in a someday you keep postponing. Now you've been prepared in secret, sharpened in storms, tempered in trials. Every scar, every sleepless night, every moment you questioned your worth, it was shaping you into someone the world will one day need. And now, heaven is sounding the alarm. It's time to rise. You see, God doesn't wait for perfection. He doesn't require a flawless resume. He looks for the willing, the surrendered, the ones who are done running, done hiding, done doubting their own fire. And if you've made it this far, still breathing, still hoping, still burning, you're one of them. This activation isn't about being loud. It's about being clear. It's about stepping fully into who you are without apology or delay. You were not born to blend in with the crowd. You were born to shift atmospheres, to disrupt darkness, to release light wherever your feet touch the ground. You've waited long enough. You've second-guessed long enough. The world doesn't need more hesitation. It needs your yes. And that yes doesn't have to be shouted. It just has to be real. So take a breath. Feel the weight of your purpose settle into your bones. And know this: everything you've walked through was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. For this. For now. The activation has begun, and you are ready. You've always known, haven't you, that there was something different about you. A quiet strength that didn't need to be seen to be real. A knowing that whispered long before the world had words for it. And now, everything begins to make sense. You weren't overlooked. You were hidden, covered, protected, set apart, because what you carry was too sacred to be exposed too soon. But the season of hiding is ending, and the world is about to see what heaven already knew. The hidden ones are rising. You are not the broken. You are the forged. And your voice, your story, your light, it all matters more now than ever. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs you, fully awakened, fully alive, walking in the divine fire that's always been yours. So let this be your moment. Let this be your turning point. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more delay. You were born for this, and everything begins with a single, sacred yes. Call to action. If this message stirred something in you, if it felt like it was speaking directly to your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Type in the comments, "I was born for this." Share this video with someone whose light is flickering, who just needs a reminder that they were chosen too. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a message that speaks to your spirit. This is more than a video. This is a movement, and you belong here. Thank you for being part of this circle of light. Until next time, walk boldly, love deeply, and rise fully. You are not alone, and your journey is just beginning.